if we can take off that hat and put on the SAPF Secretary's hat, yeah, what's your feedback on what's happening around the clubs and how they're dealing with things? I noticed this week you sent out a very informative email with COVID, instructions, regulations, etc. So you're getting any feedback on what clubs are doing? Are they starting to think about re-meeting, or is it all still a bit tenuous?
There's a bit of a mixture. So, you know, naturally we've got an older demographic in most of our clubs, so we obviously have to be a little careful about what we're doing. And while South Australia is relatively COVID-free, we have to be aware that there is a possibility of a second wave. But in regards to that, I did send out a COVID safe plan because Tea Tree Gully, which I'm the president of, is actually looking at returning to face-to-face meetings.
Yeah.
And I wanted to find out exactly what my requirements are, and obviously putting the SAPF Secretary and Treasurer hat on as well, making sure that we are ensuring that our clubs have all the right information about when they go back and how to do it in a way that is going to protect themselves and protect us as an organisation, as far as our insurance concerns is, because obviously we have public liability insurance. We want to make sure, I'm not even sure the classification on the pandemic would be, but I would hate for us to be classed as being negligent by not having a COVID safe plan in place. I originally thought, because we're all volunteer organisations, that we would be able to just do the volunteer plan, but because most of our clubs meet in public places, whether it be a church or a rented room or wherever it is, it's classed as public. So therefore, we have to have it in place because it's a legal requirement. Otherwise, there's a nasty $5,000 fine if you don't. So I've sent it out to the clubs with all the links. I've told them what they need before they proceed. It took me probably all of 5 minutes. You then get a printout that then tells you what you're supposed to do and have insured in place, like, you know, entry and exit points and having sanitizers and things like that. And so yeah, it's pretty relatively easy to follow. It's just, I think everybody needs to understand it is an important part to ensure that our members are kept safe.
You're absolutely correct, Jackie, and thank you for doing that, because it certainly made us at the Goolwa Camera Club, for example, we were contemplating reconvening some workshops early next month, or this month now, sorry. And yeah, we're just, after reading your email, and we just given us cause to pause for a moment and just rethink what we're doing, because our demographic is very senior, and we lost a very dear member a couple of days ago in Peter Reedman, who 90 years of age and a founding member of Goolwa, passed away. And you'd hate to reconvene and then have something sweep through you, and then, you know, yeah, that would be really, really hard.
That's very sad to hear. And very sad to hear. Look, it is important, but I mean, at Tea Tree Gully, we've recommenced our workshops, but we've ensured that our workshops, know which members are attending, and all our workshops are outside, and we're having them in smaller groups. So we're splitting off and having smaller groups. So the risk is really reasonably minimal. I've allowed, as president of Tea Tree Gully, and I'm sure most others are in the same place, I've allowed our members to determine when we go back. I mean, I'm a bit more of a higher risk given the fact that I had a bone marrow transplant, so my risk is a bit different. But at the same time, I'm probably more healthier than a lot of our members are for various reasons. And I've allowed our members, most of our members do want to go back. We've got a couple that are a little bit hesitant, so we're going to head back at the end of August with the proviso that we'll see what happens in the next few weeks in regards to COVID. But we've got a fallback plan. We've got our online system, which most of our clubs, so a lot of our clubs have started to go back. So we've got Adelaide, Mawson Lakes, I believe Easton and Edwardstown have started to look at going back. Teacher Gully's looking at going back. I'm not sure what you guys are doing, Brad, in regards to South Coast. But I believe that we're just going to have to take it as it is, and our members know that we might go back and it might only be for a short period of time and we might have to reconvene online, but most of our members just want to be doing something. So, you know, I've set up Facebook challenges, and got a great online little community in our Facebook page, and I'm sure most other clubs have got very similar things happening as well.
Yeah, we've started half going back. We've done started to just do outdoor stuff. So we haven't talked about doing our competitions indoors at this stage, because we are dealing with a fairly big membership base as well. So we're always siding on the caution, but we've started to do some of our field trips, which is all outdoors, doing the following the COVID rules and that, with the social distancing. And we're doing workshops. Actually, I've got to tee one up, actually. We've been doing mainly just online. So I think we're having a coffee morning, which will be outdoors as well, which will be, is that next Monday? I think it is.
I think it is, yes.
So,
first Monday of the month.
So we're trying to keep, because we're a very social club as well. So a lot of them are going a bit nuts because they haven't seen anyone. But so we're hoping to do stuff outdoors, and we're just carefully looking at when we start going indoors. We'll have to be very careful, and it's because of the numbers of people that we'll be dealing with.
Yeah, and that's right. I mean, and I guess the COVID Safe Plan actually asks you what your capacity is, and it will tell you how many people you can have in there, which is great. Luckily for Teacher Gully, we've got a huge room, so we've got like 132 square metres, so we've got oodles. We've got more than that, double our membership to but hang on a sec. He's coming in and giving me a drink. That was for you. It was for me now. Thank you very much.
It's all right. You'll only be seen by the world.
Trust me, he won't care, because he's in some of my photos anyway. So, so look, I mean, I think it is up to each individual club. They know what their members' needs are. But, you know, obviously SAPF are there to help clubs get re-established when the time is right. And we're not asking, or we're not saying that all clubs should go back. We're just saying it's up to each individual club. And, you know, SAPF, just going on SAPF, we've obviously been, management committee has still been meeting every month online. We've been talking and planning about what the relaunch of photography and SA is going to be all about, what we can do when it is time for that to happen. We have recommenced our courses, and we've changed them to the Modbury U3A because we have the space in there. So our courses are back online for people to book in. They are booking up pretty fast, I'll be honest with you. So for those that want to head over to the SAPF website, which is the sapf.org.au for the courses. And obviously the club information's up there as well for people that want to join. I'm not sure about other clubs, but I know Teacher Gully, I think got an extra four members now that we're doing stuff online. So we've actually increased our membership, which we were a bit worried that we might go the other way. But no,
that's another really interesting point, Jackie. We South Coast, we've lost a few members, but nowhere near what we thought might happen. And Gould were the same. We just membership renewals are happening virtually as we speak, and they've been really good. It's been quite heartening, in fact, to see the strength of the membership that has come back. Because, gee, you hear some horror stories amongst other clubs in sport and other associations, non-photography, that have really taken big hits with people not rejoining. So we're fairly comfortable with where we're at, and as to where it goes into the future, well, that's something we're just going to review virtually weekly as it rolls along?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty proud of our photography community with the clubs because, it's a really close-knit community. I mean, I know a lot of people from different clubs now. I've met a lot of people. I mean, I love my Titri Gully Camera Club members and I love the Mawson Lakes members, and I'm sure it's for every president or everyone that's in there. I mean, we've got a great little community, and I think it has gone from strength to strength because it has shown that, while things get tough, that we can still do things. I mean, I provide, Titri Gully provides some tutorials on our Facebook page. It keeps people busy. We're trying to do online workshops still, so as much as it can be challenging at times, we're still managing to do that. And I know that a lot of the other clubs are doing it. So, yeah, I'm pretty proud of them. I actually pretty impressed by people's resilience in keeping up and being loyal to our clubs. So, yeah.
Yes, if there's any upside to all of this madness, it is that we have probably learnt new ways of to communicate with each other, with Zoom and the like. So that is a positive going forward that I think will now become part of our normal way of doing business. So,
yeah, well, I think what's been really good is I think some of the country clubs have decided to take this on board for judging, because I know they've done it manually before where they've sent the images to the club to a judge, and then they're getting the judge to provide comments. But I think a lot of them are actually looking at the Zoom platform and maybe other platforms to actually be able to do it live in their club rooms, which I think is fantastic.
I think that's great. I hope they push for that because they'll get a bit more of a personal contact with the judges instead of just sending it away and then getting a few comments back. So
yeah, so I believe that some of them have taken that on board, and I'm hoping that more and more will do it. So yeah.
No, I judged 2 country clubs recently, and because we have this wonderful setup here that enables or opens up so many doors for us, we actually recorded my judging, and then we've sent them the link to it so they can view that at any time, and that's been very well received by those clubs. So
absolutely, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Jackie. One other thing is before we wind this up, and you've obviously got things you would like to be doing, and Photo Australia Cup has just been recently completed, and naturally we very proudly, from the South Coast Camera Club point of view, I'm now wearing the South Coast hat, display our honourable mention here and coming in equal ninth, and
congratulations, guys!
Equal top ranked club in SA. So we're pretty chuffed about this. But I just wanted to touch base with you on the need and the importance to participate in things like the Australia Cup, and how well, in my opinion, how important they are to benchmark yourself against the rest and the best.
I guess I might have a differing opinion because I actually don't necessarily think you need to benchmark yourself against anybody else. I personally think you need to benchmark against yourself as a photographer. I'm only competing with myself as a photographer. But in saying that, congratulations to Adelaide Club, South Coast, Edwardstown, Whyalla, Goolwa, Mawson Lakes and Eastern. They all participated, which I think is amazing. Yes, I think validation of your photos is always an important part, and that's why I guess we put in for competitions and get judges to judge, which they give all their valuable time and their opinions, which has been fantastic. And to be honest, put my education aside, my photography improved when I started at the Camera Club and with listening to the judges. That's how my photography started to improve. So I do think it's important, and it's important to enter competitions if you want to. But I think in saying that, I mean, obviously it's nice to know where you stand against the rest of the participating clubs. But we also have to understand that, Goolwa Club, how many members are in Goolwa Club?
in the Goolwa Club,
Yep.
we have about 20 something at the moment, 21 or 2.
And some of those other clubs might have 100 members in Sydney or Melbourne and things like that. So you're not really doing apples for apples. You're just putting a select few photographers against each other. It's really important to participate as a club, as a group. I think it's important. It's good networking. It's good socializing with your club, you know, getting people to participate, I think is really important. Validating that by, you know, they get individual scores. I think in a way it does help to validate your own photography. But I still think it's about you as a photographer competing against yourself, because what's my photography like now compared to a year ago?
Yeah,
It's completely different.
look, I don't argue with that at all, and you're right. You please yourself first. Thing I draw out of things like the Australian Cup, though, and the monthly judging competitions at our club level, is it's more about the process than the result. That you can follow that through and learn. Brad and I were only talking about this earlier. We've both participated in judging of different forms and competition of different forms. Brad's showed stud cattle. Over the years, I used to show stud sheep. It's not a lot different. You're putting yourself up. You put yourself out there, and it's the process. It's you listen, you look, you learn, and then you apply that. And in that process, hopefully you get better. So, and that process is then about making yourself a better photographer.
Oh, absolutely. And I go back to the SAPF judges. They volunteer their time. It's got to be damn hard to look at all those photos and try and come up with constructive feedback, positive feedback, improvements on such a very small scale in regards to, you know, what can I say in the 30 seconds I get to see this image. So I'm very impressed with our judges. I think it's a tough gig. So guys, I congratulate all our judges for that. But it is about learning. It is about learning. It is about putting yourself out there. It is about understanding the process. It is about, you know, participating. So it's all of those things, Grant. So I 100% agree with you. I just think that we all need to understand that we're all at different levels of our photography journey, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely, completely different. And I don't think there's anything wrong with participating. I actually think, and I encourage it. For me, I haven't participated in very many competitions, but I do intend on doing more. And it's not about the result. It is about the process. It is about putting it out there. It is about learning. You know, digital photography and printing is completely different mediums as far as I'm concerned. They have a completely different approach to things. So there's a whole heap of stuff that I think is very valuable in participating in competitions. I mean, I think for a Tea Tree Gully, we've had the most participants ever in our competitions than we've ever had before. And that's because it's about having a go. It's not about the perfect photo. It's not about the masterpiece. It's about having a go. It's about, you know, maybe improving, learning your photography, changing things. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, excellent. Well, Jackie, thank you very much. Very kind of you to join us, and it's been very informative, and I hope our viewers find it that way as well.
I hope so.
Thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you for having me on.
Yes, so yeah, thanks Jackie. It was great seeing you again. And yeah, if you like this video, if you could give us a thumbs up on there, hit subscribe if you haven't already done so. And with that, we'll see you in the next video.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Bye.